Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Main Stage. This week, it's going to be an exciting game between Auburn and Alabama. The old rivalry does die hard.
We got the pre-Super Bowl before the Super Bowl tonight in League of Legends format.
It's the most sporting thing I could ever imagine, really.
We are getting both teams in a ban phase here. We did see the bans in the pre-ban lobby, but I think both team comps are actually pretty interesting today.
They banned one of this team's mid laners is just not allowed to play the game today.
Yeah, Mr. Alex R2226. All 5 bans in the enemy team were used against him.
Yep.
And funny enough, all 5 of his champions were purple, and he still managed to pick a 6th purple champion. So I'm thinking, well, here goes ban phase.
Oh, well, goodbye.
What happened? Top gap.
Top gap.
Well, guess we're not getting into it yet.
All right.
Well, how was your day today, Brad?
I mean, it's been an alright day. Hasn't been terrible. Hasn't been great. How about yours?
I'm doing all right. I went and worked out beforehand again. Burnt myself out real quick, and then got the heck out of there.
Let's go.
As you tend to do at the gym. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I work out all the time. I haven't missed a day of my life.
Did we announce who we are? Did we do that?
I'm Brad.
I'm Jake.
This is Main
go.
Stage. We are so professional here. Oh, and someone has left the game, the custom once again. I'm gonna lose my mind.
Uh-oh.
Who was it this time? Well, I don't have. It's not Pi Day, so I can't make any funny bits today. Truly unfortunate. Yeah, it was. Oh, they're back.
Both teams are back in the lobby. Maybe we'll actually get ban phase now?
Maybe? Let's see. Oh, I didn't even get to type R.
No spark between us anyway.
There was no funny shenanigans this time in pick bans.
No one spelled anything out. They just target banned each other.
Yeah.
I don't know what any of these people play. I haven't looked them up, so I'm not certain to say that these bans are going towards their strongest players, especially on the side of Alabama, with all 5 of their bans being thrown towards their mid laner.
Diamond 3, I believe.
I remember he was definitely not the strongest player on their team.
Yes.
Rank-wise, at least. I've never seen him play, so I don't know. We did watch Alabama play last week, but we have not seen Auburn play yet. So I'm excited because Alabama playing against UNA and getting a swift 2-0 against them. I am excited to see how they perform against a team that's maybe slightly better matched.
Last week was Auburn versus UNA.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Other way around then.
Yeah,
Just
week 1.
Everything I said with Alabama with Auburn.
Yeah, week 1 was when Alabama and UNA played.
We watched Auburn, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We casted
Auburn.
Auburn.
So the team on the right is Auburn right now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Or the team on the left, rather. Sorry.
Wait, so
Lucian is Auburn.
because I remember the names on the right.
I know that the Lucian is Auburn.
Okay.
Because AU.
Oh yeah, I guess that would make sense.
Welcome to Main Stage, everybody. We're very professional here.
We're very prepared.
We spent weeks, months even, doing this pre-game analysis. You couldn't even begin to comprehend.
Yeah, as you can see, all 5 of the bans from Alabama coming out towards the Auburn mid laner.
Very purple.
Very purple. It looks like 3 bans going through from Auburn towards the top side. Maybe he's scary.
Ooh. Youngster Joey.
And then 2 for the bot lane. None for mid, none for jungle.
I'm surprised I didn't see Joe Kage pick Twitch here. That is his main champion and the one that he's dominated on the most.
Right, that is what he played with last week.
Yeah. Unfortunate. No Discord kitten combo.
No daddy kitten combo this week.
Yeah.
No Twitch Yumi.
No Twitch Yumi. How unfortunate. I was hoping to see it.
As far as the pregame goes, it looks like the team on the left is very, very heavily duel and engage oriented with the Malzahar, Xin Zhao, and Trundle. And I guess the Lucian too, just always looking to fight, always looking to pick. And the team on the right looks like it's pretty much mostly disengaged besides for the LeBlanc.
I'm just very excited to watch that LeBlanc press W and Malzahar just press R.
Yeah, that is a pretty interesting matchup. Malzahar does counter LeBlanc, but LeBlanc has tools to deal with it. Not one of LeBlanc's better matchups, for sure, especially if she gets ganked. If this Trundle gets ahead early, I'm not sure if he's jungle or top, actually. Wait, is it? Yeah, no, I don't know if he's jungle or top. But I do
Oh,
know
I'm
that
not
Trundle with
sure.
lethal tempo right now is extremely scary. Just his W plus lethal tempo at level 2 just kind of does a lot of damage.
Yeah, it will be an interesting game to watch for sure. But I believe it's Trundle top into an R.
I would say that would be unfortunate for the Trundle, but Trundle again does have the tools to deal with it with the passive lifesteal, and you can always just rush tabbies because tabbies do just kind of
Negate.
mess with Gnar a good bit.
Yeah, that
Tabbies
is
Bramble
definitely
early maybe
true.
since they only have one AP threat and they have 3 auto attackers. I would say Bramblevest is a very strong pick into this team. He
Oh,
doesn't really
yeah.
have to worry about the Alistar as much because his team has such good disengage with the Zinjao plus the Malzahar plus the Nami. I would say that I don't know. In terms of synergy, left team probably won the draft on the side of Auburn, but I don't know. Right team has some pretty scary champions with the Kindred and the Jinx being protagonist champions. If they get fed, then they will be threats. And of course, the LeBlanc being the 50-50 champion. If she gets fed, she carries the game. If she doesn't get fed, she does absolutely nothing. Classic LeBlanc. Interesting to see that getting picked in a team setting. I wouldn't normally expect that, but maybe it's his one trick.
How do you feel about the Lucian Nami bot lane into Jinx Alistar?
Yeah, it's just a disengage lane. The Nami and the Lucian are gonna look to go in constantly on the Jinx because she cannot even dream of matching that damage, and the Alistar is just gonna press W and hope to God he can get the Lucian off.
Well, we'll see.
We will see. We have 30 seconds left in the spectator delay, and then we will be right into it.
How is Jin Zhao and the Kindred?
Zen beats Kindred pretty hard early, and it is very easy for him to deny her marks, but Kindred will outscale the heck out of him. But Zen and Trundle are both very, very strong duelists right now. And the
Yes.
game is so fast that early game champions are just strong.
Oh, yeah. When was the last time you saw a game go for 40 minutes?
Not in a long time. Maybe that's just the elo that I'm playing in.
I know I had a game not too long ago go about, I think it was 50 something minutes, 56.
Damn.
It was definitely an interesting game. But we're finally loading in to the game, and we can begin to watch the terror on the rift. I hope you're ready, summoners.
So as we are starting up here, it looks like the side of Auburn's going for the point defend, ping it on the map. Bot lane will be covering both the entrances on bot side, and then top side will also be covering both of those entrances. Actually, they're going to pile 3 people towards the top entrance. Maybe looking for something fancy.
Oh, what will Nar do?
Spotted by the Gnar. Maybe looking for a ward on the red. Early ward. They're going to trade wards. Kindred going to go ward the blue as well. I'm not sure who that's better for. Because both of those champions really want to start red buff. But now Kindred can't start red or else she'll be conceding jungle. Because if she gets invaded by that Zinjao early, oh, she's going to start red anyways. Maybe she'll just clear it with a sweeper. LeBlanc has a sweeper. Will she get the ward? Or I guess that's Alistar. They did not find the ward on red.
They might
Looks
honestly
like
just not even know it's there.
Zen didn't back for the sweeper either. I can't really tell. Oh, there it is. Kindred has a sweeper, but Zinjao does not. Good trades coming out. LeBlanc will win that with the corrupting pot.
Now this is what I'm excited for. The Lucian Nami bot lane.
Oh, Trundle's zoning the Gnar off early. Didn't miss any XP though. He did miss all 3 of the melees. Maybe he got one. Couldn't really tell. But this can be a very volatile lane in the top lane, especially if Trundle catches Gnar without his jump. He is just kind of dead. That champion is a huge threat right now. Kindred invading and Zin invading his way. No, fine. Backwards. They didn't invade.
The double counter engage or the double counter invade? It's the new Korean
blind.
strat everyone's talking about.
But Zen did start one the ward and Kindred did not, so they do both know where each other are. Kindred may be looking to go into the bot side and catch the Zinjao in his red. I do not think she wins that. I do think Zinjao is stronger early. Maybe she can catch him without his cooldowns up. Looking mid, maybe. Blanc might have chain. Could be big. Mr. Q
Oh.
on the chain, and it will make the difference. Did not Q before the second half for chain, so she didn't get the activation proc.
Malzahar does get out.
Yeah, Malzahar will be living.
That is a flash from LeBlanc. And a flash from Malzahar.
Flash from Malzahar and Ignite from LeBlanc.
Yes. Did I say that backwards?
Yes, that's okay.
Lovely.
Kindred gonna get the mark top side. Not gonna be contested. Zen does not know where LeBlanc is. Maybe expecting her to be contesting, but she did recall, so not gonna be a threat anywhere. Kindred instantly killing the crab. Probably smited it to break the shield. And then looking top. Nothing happening on bot side. Bot reset. Kindred, Jinx got a longsword and a control ward.
Kindred does come top lane to gank this Trundle.
That's a flash bomb.
Trundle flashes.
He is probably dead. Yep.
And he is.
Good
Oh,
first
that's a
blood off the side
flash
of
from
Alabama.
Gnar.
No reason for the Gnar to flash there. Kindred did have the kill. She does have lethal tempo instead of press the attack. Zen trying to fish for a counter. Ooh, hold on.
I don't like the looks of this.
Yeah, this is looking like a dead Jinzhao. Jinx popping off. Dead Nami as well. She does
Ooh.
have flash, but not even going to be close. Lucian
I guess
probably shouldn't have stepped up there.
I suppose
But
Nami is the new 2-for-1 special.
Alistar electing to not flash for the Lucian. Both mid laner and jungler resetting on the side of Alabama. Probably looking to gain pressure on this dragon here, which is spawning. Zen is top. They do not know the Lucian being aggressive, of course, as he wants to be in this lane, as aggressive as possible. Yeah, it looks like Zen does not know where the Kindred is. Mark taken, Kindred not prioritizing the dragon. Interesting.
All about those marks. She has to make sure she gets that extra
I mean,
attack
she can
range.
assume that the Zinjao's already taken her mark. It's been on the field for more than a minute at this point. Yeah, that Trundle has defensive items for sure. That Gnar is not doing damage anymore. Exactly what he wants in this matchup. Yep, he's got cloth armor, working towards tabbies. D-shield, probably defensive runes. That is a rough matchup for Gnar, actually. You would think it'd be the other way around because it's melee in a range, but Trundle is just so strong defensively that the Gnar is never going to be able to do anything. Lucian, a huge trade with the Nami Electrocute.
Doing half of that Jinx combo, or half of that Jinx health in one combo.
Yeah. Cutting out.
A massive skirmish in the bot lane, actually. Jinx and Alistar both almost die, but as does Lucian. No deaths yet.
Jungle fight. Malzahar
Oh?
coming out, but Zen electing to turn on Kindred. Can't commit for one,
Oof.
and will kill neither. Unfortunate. They did not get their targeting down there, so they do not get either of the kills. Kindred gonna flash forward. Malzahar hit the E. He's probably dead as well, but they will trade with the Lucian and Nami walking up. Alistar proccing his Glacial. Kindred, or sorry, LeBlanc is gonna be leaving, and Alistar is gonna be soloing the Nami. And taunting on his face too, because he knows the Lucian can't follow up anymore. Huge play off the side of Alabama. And now they have full drag pressure. Will the bot lane decide to do it on their own, or are they just going to push mid and recall? Looks like they're just going to push mid. They should be getting dragon here, but they're, again, electing to not prioritize the dragon. Neither team caring at all. Maybe they've just
Who needs
decided that the game is
objectives?
not going to go long enough. Oh, now they're pinging it. Kindred mark is down there. But Kindred is not.
LeBlanc is sitting at a very scary 2-0 and 2 at this point. Very easily could continue to snowball off this.
Yeah, it's extremely scary for the Nami and the Lucian. Everyone else with the ability to build defensive items, but that'll be LeBlanc's job this game, is just to make the Lucian die as fast as possible. Yep. Engage from Trundle. I think he
Touches
wins
the
this
Q.
right now. Especially with the Malzahar here. Ulting him. Malzahar not in range to catch. Doesn't have ult either. Kindred is going to be soloing the dragon. Finally. 3 minutes of it just being available for pretty much free, and now she'll decide to do it. Not sure if I just don't know the macro decision or if they're just completely missing that, but they will go down to the side of Alabama finally.
8.5
I might just be
minutes
bad,
into the
Brad.
game. You might just be bad. I don't know. I'm really worried about that LeBlanc now,
Oh
actually.
yeah, she is fishing. They're fishing for picks here. And Nami is so dead. Zen maybe gonna get the return kill on the Kindred. She can't pop R. Didn't pop it before she got knocked up. As the Kindred classic is not anticipating CC. Ooh, flash R from
Ooh,
Malzahar.
Flash R.
On the Alistar. I think he hasn't died yet, so that was probably worth. Yeah, that was his first death. Gonna get full kill gold for that. Exhaust from Jinx.
That's exhaust from Jinx.
Ooh, Lucian. Red buff?
Ah, so
no,
close.
no, not. Jinx had a pot taking. This Gnar is completely nulled out against this Trundle at this point. Yeah, Trundle with full boots,
Kindred coming
D-shield.
bot lane. Oh, the ult coming out from
Kindred
Lucian
does have R.
immediately.
Will it matter? Oh, probably, yep.
Ooh.
That was a good knockup from the Alistar. Popped him right out of the Kindred R. Both of the LeBlanc abilities just sunk right into the spell shield. Not recognizing that it does last for a time after it gets popped. Zen getting invaded again. Kindred is strong enough to be the protagonist this game, so she can contest her marks.
She will be the protagonist.
Lucian
Who will be
Nami,
the
maybe gonna get
antagonist
spotted
is the
out.
question.
So many wards in their jungle. Uh oh, yep, they're getting spotted, it looks like. Nami is dead again.
Oh, goodbye, Nami.
Yep, that
Should have
Glacial
played the
Alistar,
cat.
she not even gonna be close to being able to run.
Should have played the cat.
Yeah, this is the weakness of Lucian Nami, is if they get behind, they're just in deep trouble. Red buff gonna go over to Kindred. The red buff's getting marked, that does mean she has more than 4 marks. She is very strong. Zhao coming in for the counter engage on the Gnar. Trundle probably didn't even need it. The champion's just so silly. Gnar running to the enemy tower, not even... Oh, good flash, but it didn't matter.
Close.
Yeah, the red smite gonna be taking that. Blanc. Potential. She hits the chain. Might die to the Voidlings. Yep, that's a Malzahar LeBlanc matchup.
And goodbye, Lucian.
Yeah, Kindred and the Alistar are just playing together so well this game. That is huge for the Kindred. And Kindred is an unstoppable force if she's ahead, especially if she can get marks. I don't know exactly how many she has, but she definitely has probably 5 or 6. It looks like she has 5, yep. If she gets 7, the game is pretty much over. Because that is when she hits her power spike. Once the large monsters start getting marked, Dragon and Baron. For any of you out there who don't know how Kindred marks work, for the first 4, she gains bonus attack speed and range. Ooh. Hold on, I'll explain it after this fight. And Zhao getting the knockup, Kindred being forced to flash, but she does have the E on him, does not have R, having to flash out and losing because the Xin Zhao R damage reduction. Smited the Raptors, will it save them? That is a long LeBlanc chain.
So close.
That was unfortunate. That was the longest LeBlanc chain. Probably max range.
She's got the world record.
She did.
She knows what she's doing.
She does, yeah. Yes, for Kindred marks, first 4 increased attack speed and range, and then every 3 after that. So once she gets to 7, that's when she gets her late game power spike. And it stops marking small camps on the enemy jungle. It starts marking only the large objectives. Jinx forced to flash, but Nami had Ignite ticking, so it didn't matter. They are actually going to get double killed here, probably, if Lucian can get his E back up. Clean. That is huge from the side of Auburn. They really needed that on Lucian Nami. I don't want to go so far as calling that a throw, but that is not something they wanted to do. Diving a Trundle, also not something they want to do.
Ooh,
A Trundle
big
with full defense.
Malzahar.
Yeah, not even. I don't even know if the Malzahar mattered there, but that's big that he was there for that dive. They are definitely throwing their lead at this point
Just
by
as
trying to
quickly,
overextend.
as Auburn, or as Alabama built up a 3,000 gold lead, they have thrown it, and within 5 minutes,
Yep.
now
It's
even
right back
gold.
down to 500 gold difference, with Alabama being slightly ahead.
Well, this might be
Trundle.
the fall of the Nami.
Yep, Trundle collecting these plates going to even up the gold.
Oh, Nami flashes the wall.
So let's see. I wonder what the next big macro decision is here. Because Alabama has lost tempo. So it will be up to Auburn to try and force something here. Gonna get the bot tower. First tower going over to Jinx. That is pretty big. I'm not sure if Alistar was in range to not have to split the gold there. But that is nice to have that Jinx getting that extra 600 gold.
Alabama has fantastic vision control at the moment, holding them down constantly.
Yeah, their bot side of Auburn's jungle has been warded the entire game because of the lead this Kindred has. Nami potentially going to get picked out in the exact same way for a 3rd time. No, Alistar deciding not to commit and Hex flashing out. Oh, that is spooky for the Kindred to walk forwards here. Oh, wow. Good R. Surprised she didn't get Malzahar ulted. Oh, it wasn't up yet. Yep. Huge fight here from Alabama. Just another scrappy fight in the bot side jungle. That is where Auburn is losing most of their gold, is these fights that they keep taking in the spots that are warded by Auburn. Or sorry, Alabama.
Well, Alabama may have lost that 3,000 gold lead in just a few moments, but they've made it back just as fast.
Yeah, this is definitely a very swingy game.
But Alabama does lead in objectives by quite a margin.
Yep, 2 towers to 0. But both mid and bot tower being fairly low, and top, I guess all 3 are pretty low. Trundle's been working on it for a while. Definitely leading the lane here.
Quick recap of the scores. Nar is 0, 2, and 1. Kindred is 5, 3, and 7. LeBlanc is 5, 1, and 3. Absolutely terrifying at this point. Jinx is 1, 1, and 3. Oh, and there's a massive fight going on top lane. Massive meaning Nar dying.
I don't think he dies here. Both Trundle and Nara built defensive items. Jinx Rocket hitting both of them, but he was pretty close.
Surprised he didn't E in at that point to secure an R.
So now gonna ult to stop the Nara Q, forcing Alistar to take the kill. That was actually pretty good for them. To not have the Nara getting that gold. Another dive.
This one going a little more successfully than the
Alabama
others.
coming out on top this time instead of getting double killed. Taking tempo back for sure. Was the Auburn lead just a pipe dream? Jinx maybe slightly overextending. Wow, good outplay from the Lucian. But kill getting traded just as fast back to the LeBlanc. And he's dead too. Yeah, no. There's nothing he can do. LeBlanc is a menace. That is 7 kills for her.
Bot tower does fall though.
It's starting to get to the point where any lead that the Lucian and Nami can get is just going to be taken away just as fast by LeBlanc. There's not much their team can do to stop LeBlanc from killing. Especially if she decides to build a Banshees at some point, where Zanya's. Collapsing around Dragon here. Fighting for the 3rd drag, not as important, but still having the drag lead in this matchup could make the difference for Auburn. Their win cons at this point are any kind of gold swing around an objective fight. Elder Dragon and Dragon Soul both be very, very big turning points for the game. Both ADCs just rotating to pick up the wave mid, try and force pressure so they can collapse into the drag a little easier. Trundle going to take down the top tower while Nara's distracted at Dragon. And Alabama will have the Dragon control for exchange their top tower. Alistar looking to get some sneaky wards on the Herald before they get to that. Because that looks like that's what Auburn wanted to trade for, was actually the Herald here.
Everyone except for LeBlanc is coming up.
Malzahar
ulting the Alistar. That is unfortunate to say the least.
Yeah, definitely not the person he wanted to ult. I would even go as far as to say that he could have ulted literally anyone else. Kindred ult being huge here for Alabama. Saving 2 of them.
And there
that is
goes
4 down
Lucian.
for 0. Oh, the Hex Gate. Will he get comboed by the Alistar? No, looks like Trundle is gone. That Hex Gate saving the heck out of him. That was such a funny escape. Just flew past all 5 of the memories.
If only he would have gotten the smite to steal it.
Well, both Dragon and Herald control going over to Alabama. Now 13 kills up and 6k gold.
What's the cooldown on rank 2 LeBlanc are?
Rank 2, I want to say it's maybe 30, 25 seconds.
Oh,
No, the
okay.
first one is 40 seconds. But it's definitely pretty short. I'd say somewhere around 30 seconds. The game's going to slow back down here while they wait for some kind of objective to get forced, I'm sure. At this point, Auburn's only game plan is just to wait for Alabama to make a mistake, and maybe they can scrounge up some gold. But Alabama going to play proactively and get wards on the Baron here. having Gnar split push with his TP ready so they can get Baron pressure. Lucian, Gale forced forwards. Oh, wow, she popped. Dang.
It's also
That was a
Lucian
lot of
Flash,
damage.
though.
I mean, that's good, though. They took out their ADC before Baron fight. LeBlanc, yep, just going to assassinate him. That is how that goes.
I think that the Malzahar has to stand on top of Lucian the entire game if they're going to have a chance in
Yeah,
this.
that's pretty much all they can do to stop LeBlanc at this point is hope they can get an instant Malzahar on him before he can kill the Lucian.
I believe in the Malzahar. I think he's got it in him.
But if LeBlanc decides to build Banshees, then that plan is out the window. Alabama has Baron control here. They're going to attempt to force Auburn off of the Baron. Collapsed on the Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao went in. Interesting. Nami in a horrible position. Dead to LeBlanc. Yep. Bye-bye. R managing to kill the Malzahar. Kindred missing the ult on him. Wow, that worked out really well for Auburn or Alabama. Gosh, I just keep getting them confused.
Now, does Alabama Baron off of this is the question.
Definitely, for sure. That is 4-1. And Lucian's the only one alive. That they have multiple champions who are a huge threat to Lucian right now. Like, even the Alistar could probably want to be on him.
Oh, I hope not.
Oh, there he goes.
And he started the 1v1.
One Jinx rocket will probably end it. If he can get the stun off. Yep, goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. Lucian. You had a good run.
Baron coming over for Alabama. That is pretty decisive. Dragon spawning, this will be their third one.
The LeBlanc split push. Is this something you normally see, Jake?
Anyone who's strong enough to be able to either escape or be able to kill whoever comes to contest can viably split push.
Ooh.
And LeBlanc is very good at escaping, as is seen here.
Malzahar does use Flash and R.
And LeBlanc also trading her flash for the Malzahar's flash, but she did not get the tower. But I do think the Malzahar's flash is significantly more valuable than the LeBlanc's flash at this point. Because that is their whole game plan, is to Malzahar R just anyone to get any kills at all. It's going to be a hard comeback from Auburn. Another bot side invade. Lucian trying to do the red and just getting picked for it because they still have huge bot side control. I'll start ulting in. Xin Zhao, not even a chance. Popped his R, didn't matter. LeBlanc looking for backline. Gnar is soloing the dragon. He doesn't
That's
really have to
something
be
I
in the
don't
fight,
see.
they can just zone. Kindred is strong enough to walk up. Trundle's not nearly strong enough to do anything. It is not early game anymore. Kindred actually had a QSS. Yeah, that looks like it's going to be game. They didn't even need the Gnar. Kindred just kind of walked forwards. LeBlanc just kind of looked at their backline and said, "You don't get to exist." And Shelly died. Unfortunate.
No Shelly
No
dance.
Shelly dance. That's going to be a clean, decisive victory besides the one little mess up they made early game. On the side of
Beautiful,
Alabama.
beautiful game.
Good stuff.
Alabama played fantastically. They played as a team the entire time. Never once did they really make any massive mistakes.
Now, they did have that one little slip up early game, but it was
Oh,
not
yes.
nearly enough to matter. All it really
That
did
is
was
true.
lose them the tempo that they had pretty much the whole game up to that point. But they got it back just as quickly, and then that was kind of it. So clean stuff from Alabama. I wonder if I wonder if they will still decide to ban 5 mid laners after that game.
Well, in between these games, we're going to take a very short intermission. We will return shortly.
All right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Main Stage. Real quick, I'd like to say a thank you to our sponsors. For the Win Game Store, Zozodelic, which is a clothing brand, if you've never heard of it. Very nice clothing. I absolutely adore it. Um, Maples Rugs, the second largest rug company in North America. Absolutely fantastic quality. You should definitely look into it if you just happen to need a throw rug for any reason whatsoever. Am I missing any, Jake? Do you know?
Hmm. Don't ask Brandy.
And then we are also sponsored by SteelSeries. They make fantastic hardware for your PC and every other PC need you will ever need. And then we have the Wesley Foundation, which is a church on UNA
Oh,
campus. Lovely place,
okay.
been there many times, loved people.
All right. And we're gonna throw it on over to the bands real quick. It looks like they are continuing on the side of Alabama. They did pick red side again, so it's gonna be the same layout, but they're gonna ban 5 mid laners again. They really don't like the enemy mid laner. I don't know if it's because he's the lowest rank. Maybe they're just hitting
He's
him with
not.
it and saying lowest rank. We're just gonna pick on you so that we have a free champion to bully here. But employing the exact same strategy.
I believe the lowest rank is the Lulu
Oh,
for
is it?
Auburn. I believe they're
Hmm.
Plat 1.
I think the mid laner was plat 3.
No, the mid laner was D3.
Oh, D3. Okay, okay. So yeah, I guess I don't really know why they're banning him out. Maybe it's a joke. Maybe he only plays 5 champions. I'm not entirely sure.
I know in the pregame lobby they were saying he was short.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Uh, uh, they did ban Vigar. Short kings shall not rise up today.
Absolutely not. Yeah, that does open up free picks for the entire rest of Auburn to just pick whatever the heck they want. So they're going to take the Jinx. They're going to grab a Shin, strong with the Jinx, strong with the Hyper Carry, same with the Lulu. And then Hecarim just being a strong champion in general with the Chemtech Manamune
I'm excited to
combo.
see how this Kaisa is going to build.
Yeah, that's a mid lane Kaisa. Probably going to go Nashor's Tooth into Manamune into Crown, the classic AP Kaisa build that's really strong right now. I really don't see her building anything else, especially into a Cassiopeia. And especially with an AD threat like Jin and Olaf.
Also, Karma top. That's something I haven't seen in a
Yeah, Karma
hot
top
minute.
gonna be very good at stopping the Shin from snowballing any at all.
Happily stop him from existing.
Yeah, Leona maybe gonna look to forcing the Jinx. That's pretty much the only champion she can stop here. I don't know if that was picked early or late in the draft, but it's an interesting pick because Cassiopeia kind of just shuts her down once she gets on. So really, the only champion she can go on is Jinx. Maybe she can get ults off on Cassio, but the rest of them don't matter at all. Because Hecarim could just R through all of her engage and not a champion she needs to prioritize, especially with the Karma going to be putting just like shields on the Olaf and letting him go in. All she really needs to do is hit the Jinx. Kaisa there to sit back and poke. They do have more of a poke comp this game, whereas last game they kind of picked more of a disengage comp with the Alistar Jinx.
I definitely feel like this Olaf is going to be incredibly aggressive.
Yeah, this does look like the kind of game where he can walk into the jungle and not expect as much of a response. They do have a Hecarim, which is one of the champions who can contest the Olaf as far as farm speed goes. But
Uh, and which team would you say is scaling better?
hmm, I definitely think the left side scales better with the Cassiopeia and the Jinx.
Oh, yes, of course. But the Jin as well kind of throws me off a
Jhin
little.
is more of a mid game champion in my opinion,
I guess that's fair.
and
Would you agree that Auburn has one draft today?
yeah, I do think this is definitely more Auburn sided. Uh,
Well,
hmm. Alabama drafted a little bit more of an early game comp than Auburn did with the Olaf and with the Jhin. And the Cassiopeia and the Jinx coming in with her the late game scaling, the Shin removal, and the Lulu removal, and the Hecarim just being a solid front line. I do think Auburn won the draft this game, whereas I think Alabama actually won last game.
Do you think that's going to translate into the game this time?
I'm not so certain because Alabama putting up a very solid macro showing last game can probably still just force their way through the team comp diff. Especially if that Kaisa gets strong, and especially if that Olaf gets strong, because the Karma is going to be a menace on this Olaf if the Olaf can get any kind of power at all. Because they don't have enough removal. They only have one AP threat. Although Cassiopeia is a huge AP threat. If Olaf just gets, I don't know, maybe a Spirit Visage or a Force of Nature, then he can kind of just run through the Cassio. Especially since he can ignore her disables.
But you can't forget about the Lulu polymorph.
I
The
think I can. I
biggest
think that's an
game changer.
Olaf.
It's the biggest game changer. The Lulu polymorph onto the Olaf.
Should I pull up the chat?
You should pull up the chat.
Okay, I'll pull up the chat.
Pull up the receipts. Start reading the receipts to the chat. They won't even know what hit them.
All right, last game, Auburn did choose to try and invade topside, and that led to them trading wards and their buffs. Let's see if either of them decide to properly point defend this game. Looks like they're going to be spreading evenly instead of focusing topside like they did last game. This is going to be a classic point defend. All 5 members going where they're supposed to. Nothing getting traded this game.
The thumbs up coming out from Hecarim. A little bit of BM coming out after last game of all things.
I think thumbs up is a top tier emote.
I agree. But I don't think that it beats
The dab penguin?
the dab penguin.
Dab penguin's pretty good.
The base boosted dab penguin is pretty good.
The word from the side of Auburn going to get spotted out by the Leona. That's going to be a quick couple of gold. I don't know who that went over to. It looks like the Jin. Jin got the 1 CS. So he will hit 2 1 minion early. I doubt it'll be game deciding because it's a Jin and not a Leona. They probably should have let the Leona have the XP actually. Because Jin can just scale W and Leona can get 2 early. And that'll be very strong in a Jinx Lulu. But that's just my opinion.
I mean, as soon as Leona hits any form of engage, I don't think there's much hope of the Jinx getting out.
Well, I mean, polymorph.
Yes, of course. Lulu W, right?
Yeah, Lulu W. It's going to be interesting because Kaisa can't stand back until she gets her W upgrade because the cooldown is so long. So she's actually going to have to walk up and contest Cassio for CS. If Cassio recognizes that, the Kaisa could get forced out for a large majority of this early game.
Well, now it comes down to, does she realize?
Yeah, we'll see if she's good enough to recognize it. Maybe not so confident on Cassio because she did get 5 of her champions banned.
She is an M7 Cass. So there's a chance here.
There is a chance, yeah. That's early 2. Oh, big miss from Leona. That could have been huge. Jin had the 4th shot ready. Probably had his W as well. That was an unfortunate miss. I would even go so far as to say the Leona probably could have blown Flash there, and that would have still been really big, because they could have followed up with the Jin W and the Leona E.
I would say she's soft throwing.
I think I'd agree. But, you know, one play is not the game decider. Hecarim looking to clear from top down, and Olaf looking to clear bot up. They will not meet early game. I'm not sure who that's better for, actually, because they're both very strong early junglers. Yeah, Kaisa getting poked out just like I thought. That's going to be pretty much most of the lane. Until Kaisa gets her... Ooh. Almost reset.
that was a little scary there. I don't think I would have.
Karma is airy.
Not
grasp.
grasp.
Better here.
But why not grasp?
Yeah, because she gets like a huge HP advantages off of grasp. Like not even for the damage, but just for the base HP that it gives. That could have been really big. I'm not sure if poking out the Shin early is worth.
Also, Doesn't her empowered W heal based on max health?
Is it max health? Or is it missing health? I think it's missing health.
Oh. All I know is that grass plus your empowered W makes you heal more than you should in a lifetime.
You can click on it and check if you
I
click on
can
her and then
click
read it.
things.
Oh, it is missing health.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is missing health. You were correct. Well, 4.5 minutes into the game, and it's looking pretty even.
Yeah, this is going to be a much slower game than last game. Both teams looking a good bit more defensive. 'Cause the reason why last game was so fast was because Auburn drafted an early game comp, and Alabama just took advantage of it by hard invading their bot side with the Fed Kindred. But this one is going to look to be a little bit more resident sleeper.
Yeah? Yeah, it is.
Dragon coming up. Shen missing the taunt. Karma does not care. She just wants the minions. Yeah, that's going to be pretty much the whole gist of this lane is Karma does not have to care about the Shen until she gets ganked. So playing defensively with wards and aggressively with playstyle is the play here, but she is actually pushing way too far up without wards. I don't think it's going to matter. She did blow her mantra. Hecarim still has Ghost on. Yeah, it's not going to matter. She's going to walk away. Olaf looking for the counter gank. Actually, Hecarim is definitely dead here. He has no Ghost. Olaf has his Ghost. Yeah, going over to the Karma. Interesting decision. I really think they should have given that to Olaf. Cassio, full engaging. That's a flash trade. Yep. Clean.
Clean.
Very.
Zeri? I thought she was banned.
She is, you're right.
Oh, okay, okay. You confused me for a moment
Just
there.
making sure. Yeah, easy kill for that Cassio there with the Kaisa stepping a little bit too far up, greeting for the CS. Maybe getting slightly annoyed that she keeps getting poked out.
Kaisa is sitting at a 10 CS deficit right now.
Dragon is up. Olaf is invading bot side. But Auburn definitely saw him walk in. They had a ward in the middle of mid, and they have 2 control wards where he is. Can the collapse matter? Olaf is 6. He might be a little bit too deep for his ult to matter right now. He has no follow-up. Yeah, he's going to get exhausted and not even going to be able to trade. Walking over 1, potentially 2 different wards for that invade. Not sure if that was smart, especially with the dragon up.
Get down, Mr. President Minion.
I love President minions. They
President
really do just have a mind of their
best.
own. They step to the
They
side
really
and
do.
block the heck out of all your abilities.
They dodge better than bronze players, that's all I'm
They
saying.
do. They really do. Minions are so good at dodging for no reason. Yep.
Oh, goodbye, Mr. Shin.
That's an easy pickup for the Karma. Shen overextending. There's no reason for him to ever taunt forwards in this matchup. Unless he's getting a gank from Hecarim.
Ooh.
Leona landed the E, Glacial Augment. Jhin flashed forwards, but not with this 4th shot, so it wasn't fluid. I'm not sure if that would have killed, but definitely not going to be able to land the 4th shot on the Lulu. Oh yeah, it definitely would have killed, actually. Can he get it? Yep, he gets the 4th shot off before the Hecarim got the kill. That's a trade.
That's very close. And now it's time for Hecarim to tax.
And the reason why he lost the kill there was definitely because he flashed forwards before he had the auto attack timer up, so the Lulu had time to react with her own flash instead of flashing when he had the auto attack timer and just fluidly shooting the 4th shot, so it wouldn't have mattered if the Lulu flashed. Definitely a small micro mistake that cost him 300 gold. Not something you want to see, but definitely something that's all too common. Shen taunting forwards without jungle help. Karma just gonna W him. Man, if she had grass, this would be so good.
If only.
Olaf looking for another invade. Decided that the last time was not enough. He brought a control word with him this time, though.
Has he or will he learn his lesson?
Maybe he had some kind of insight on where the Hecarim was. I wouldn't put it past him. Shin moving, though. Looks like they had insight on where he was. Oh, maybe he trades
Oh.
for the Shin here? Yep. Can he get 2? Karma is there. I don't think she got the shield off
Very
on the Olaf,
close.
though. Karma and Kaisa gonna be fighting Cassio and Hecarim. I didn't see what happened bot because I was looking at the map.
Leona flash forward. Wasted flash.
Then 2 fights going on at the same time. It's unfortunate that we don't have LCS level production to rewind, but I don't even know how they do that kind of stuff. It's not you. It's not something we have access to. I think it's like a special client that Riot has that they have all this like super fancy rewind system stuff, but
They're so stingy.
yeah, they don't give us access to the cool stuff.
Release it to the public.
No offense, Brandy.
Big smite coming out from Hecarim.
This dragon is so lonely.
Yeah. Call him Akon because he is Mr. Lonely.
Neither team likes to fight over it. They both like to just get into scuffles and not take objectives. I think they're
That's how you play League
prioritizing.
of Legends.
I think they're prioritizing CS over objectives, or maybe they're just too scared, not winning hard enough. Leona went in, but the Hecarim was there. Leona landing her ult on Lulu. Okay.
Sorry about that. My headset got incredibly loud with static.
Oh.
But we're okay now. Everything
He just
is
muted
good.
you, Brandy. You don't have to change anything. Yeah, sorry I missed what happened in that bot fight. Olaf, clearing crab, maybe gonna
Oh
look for the
no!
dragon finally.
Why?
But Jin Leona just gonna dive the Hecarim. That is a free dragon for Olaf. I think he is on a ward. I don't know if he has sweeper or not.
Hecarim
No,
decided
it doesn't
just to
look like he
walk up
does.
to Leona.
Ooh,
Oh!
huge rocket from the Jinx.
Big rocket.
Yeah,
I almost
finally. Sorry.
nearly did a bad and spoiled all of Arcane. Would not have been a very poggers thing to do.
Yeah, it looks like again Alabama taking control of this early game. They're just getting cleaner rotations. It doesn't matter that their team comp might be slightly worse.
Yes. Oh.
Cassio roaming up and flash R-ing. That is going to be a dead karma. Maybe she can come out with a Shin here if Shin overstays. No, Shin's just going to leave. He knows. He knows not to mess with it.
He's too
Yep.
smart.
Yeah, don't even walk up, but there you go. Good. I hate seeing that mistake.
Oh no. Will they rotate down to the Hecarim?
It is 3v1 here. Ooh, Olaf leaving down. Okay, no, he realized his mistake and left up. That's good. If he had walked down, they'd... Oh, no, I think he's still dead. Yep.
Oh, wait.
I don't think he even kills... Oh,
Olaf?
never mind. They don't have damage. Wow. Wow. Clean trade from the Olaf. That was very smart of him to full commit to the Cassio there. I definitely would have just ran away and died in that situation.
He right-clicked her really well.
Yeah. Though I do think if he... Oh, wow. Those Jinx traps
I
stopped
never
Leona E.
saw that before.
Yeah, Leona E stops dashes. Sorry, not Leona E. Jinx E stops dashes. Jin ulting. Opening up. Leona missing both with the stun. Ooh, oh! Jin curved the bullet, but the Lulu ult was able to stop it. Ooh, oh, no, no W snipe. Forgot what I was saying before the Leona thing happened.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah,
bro.
the
So did I.
Olaf. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, he was right-clicking him real good.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just saying that if he had run up instead of starting to walk down, then I think he could have just walked away and wouldn't have had to trade. But a trade is in their favor right now since they are ahead. Just forcing as much of a gold lead as they can get is in their advantage until they start to get diminished returns from killing. In which case they will stop wanting to trade. Okay, I'm going to slow back down a bit. Olaf may be looking to force Herald here. It is past 14 minutes, so he will not be able to crash it into 8 plates. They do have 3 top, and Hecarim is bot side. Maybe pathing bot for a gank. The wave is pushing towards Auburn. Nope, he's just going to keep walking back top. Maybe recognizing that he didn't have a gank bot and that Herald was spawning. Olaf looking for a dive on the Shin. He's going to eat the taunt without ulting. Definitely didn't have to. Now he's going to ulti up for the Cassio. And just running him down. The Olaf classic, faceplant into the enemy team until you get a kill. Wow, that did a lot of damage. Karma has no magic resist. Cassio tore them up there.
Do you think that the Karma has maidens?
I think she has at least one maiden.
At least one.
At least one. He seems
I'll
like the
accept
kind of
that
guy
in.
that has a maiden.
Fair. Why do you think they're a guy?
Because his name is Joey.
Oh, good point.
I guess Joey could be a female name.
Yeah. It's like Jojo Siwa, I guess.
Could you check guidance for me? I'm not sure if the Hecarim is building defensive or offensive. What does he have? Hearthbound and Iron Spike, so he's going for Triforce. Or maybe Stridebreaker? I think they built out the same 3 items. Yep,
Yeah.
Stridebreaker. Yeah,
Triforce doesn't have Iron Whip.
What is Tri's? Oh yeah, you're right, as Sheen. Yeah, so he's picking up a Stridebreaker. I haven't seen that in a while on Hecarim. Usually it's Turbo Chem Tank into Mana Monet. I'm not saying it.
Good. You.
Oh, that is a clean pick. Huge
Oh?
Shin ult. That was a very big shield, and it just didn't matter though, because Olaf pressed R and continued running at him. Yeah, this Olaf is a monster into their team. They really don't have much to get him off. Oh, Leona committing for the Jhin ult, and it's just going to get her killed, but Olaf committing for another trade as well. He does not care about that tower at all.
He's doing funny Olaf things. Leave him alone.
Alabama just continuing to out-pressure Auburn.
Finally
Seems-
taking another drag. 17 minutes into the game.
17 minutes, second dragon. It's not awful, but it's definitely not great.
Suboptimal at best.
Dragon to reset. I don't know what they'll be pressuring next. Could be anything here. It's really open for them. They have tempo. They can really decide what to do. Herald will be spawning faster than Dragon, so maybe they'll look to control Dragon. Or sorry, Herald. Or maybe they'll just look to pick for mistakes in the jungle, like they did last game. I don't know how advantageous it would be to commit to their bot side jungle, but the top side jungle could actually be really good here. Cassio is going to be splitting bot, and Shin splitting top. They do have to be very conscious of the Shin ult though, because as we saw in that last fight, that Lulu got a 1,000 health shield from the Shin ult, and it almost saved her.
Oh, yeah, that was incredibly close.
Yeah, that might be very relevant, especially on this Jinx. If the Jinx can start getting a few kills with the Shin combo, then she might turn the tides of this game pretty quickly. Yep, Shin is dead. Bye-bye. They're really just letting this Olaf do whatever he wants. Didn't ward defensively, Olaf just walked up to him. Herald going bot, gonna help the Cassio split. Leona engaging again. NW for the follow-up. But gets exhausts. Stopped him in his tracks. Leona hitting another one.
That
Gonna
hit.
trade her life for the chance? Okay. And it will definitely work out. This Olaf is just way too strong.
Sitting at a solid 7-4, while Jhin is at 8-1.
Jin not doing as much damage because he had to build
War
ODR,
Dom
but
second.
he definitely will be doing a lot more damage late game. This Olaf is going to hold his hand until he gets 3 items, and then they're just going to pop off because it is going to be very hard for Auburn to get into the Jin, especially with the Karma and especially with the Olaf Leona front line.
Alabama is sitting at a very comfortable 8,000 gold lead.
Olaf potentially overextending here. Hard committing for the Jinx. Trading 1 for 1 yet again. I don't think he gets another, but that was actually a negative gold trade because they got 4 assists for that. If they can kill the Karma here, that's actually really big. Will she die? Yes, Hecarim just covered the blast cone. That's actually a relatively big gold swing for Auburn. That was a mistake from the Olaf to push that far. Maybe getting slightly cocky because, oh, excuse me, because of how big his gold lead is and how strong he is. Leona gonna get caught as well. Not good for them if she dies as well. Hecarim is gonna attempt to get behind her to knock her back. And Leona gets away. They do not bleed any more gold in this skirmish. Baron spawning in 10 seconds. But Olaf is going to be alive in time to prevent them from even thinking about it. Looks like they care more about the dragon than they do the Baron. Interesting. His third dragon, though, it's Soul Point.
Well, let's see if Auburn finds a way to steal this dragon or not. They do have Jinxar. So it is
I'm not even
possible.
quite sure if they're gonna have to steal it yet or not, because they definitely could win a fight if the Olaf doesn't show early. Karma is top with TP though, so if they just play this as 5, they should be able to get it, and then it would lead to the Jinx attempting to steal with her R. Maybe the Hecarim trying to blast gun over and then R out. He does have a blast gun ready. Let's see if Alabama decides to stop it. Olaf is gonna walk over towards it. Removing the blast gun does remove one of their 2 ways to steal the dragon. Yep, he's gonna take it. So it's gonna be up to the Jinx rocket or up to the Hecarim suicide. Because Alabama does have pretty clear control over this dragon. They have many more wards than Auburn does. Auburn has 3 defensive wards, and Alabama has 3 aggressive wards. What did I say? Oh.
It looks like there's going to be another skirmish mid. Kind of turning this game into what seems like an ARAM game.
Yeah, the Olaf just doesn't have to care. He can just run at kills as long as he has at least 1 or 2 members behind him. He can just run forwards and attempt to trade. Cassio getting the first blood in this fight. That's actually really big for Auburn. Shinult coming out on the Hecarim. They're just going to assassinate the Jin. Olaf didn't play with his team and ran backline. But I think he's just so strong that it's not going to matter. If Kaisa gets another W off here, yep. She can just run away from the Shin. W again, and that Shin is dead. Nope, Olaf's just going to E. Wow, the Olaf is so strong that he can just play full frontal. And even though they sacrificed their Jin and their Leona in the backline, they just cleaned up from back to front. It's an interesting way to play this, for sure.
Yeah,
And
will
there
they go
goes
get
Soul
the dragon?
Jinx does have her rocket still, but they do not have vision. I know they're not on it yet because Kaisa's not walking over there. Oh, she ulted bot. See if it hits. Yes,
Let's
sir.
go.
I always love to see it.
It's one of my favorite things. Very satisfying.
Yeah.
That or getting a double kill with Lee Sin R.
I do think that was the correct play there. Instead of trying to blindly steal the dragon, just take the Kaisa kill and run, because any kills in this Jinx is pretty much their win con this game. I do think they should concede the soul and maybe play for Elder, because I think extending the game is only in Alabama's favor. Maybe not actually. They do have Wolf Karma, which are like prominently early game champions. They're going to attempt to sneak this Baron here. Leona sees them. They're doing it very fast. Olaf is not there. Jin's going to have to steal. No, he just aimed at the middle. Wow, good play from Auburn. Leona ran it down. Jinx skill forcing forwards, Olaf popping off and going in. He's taking a lot of damage though. Probably still has his Gore Drinker. Haven't seen him use it. Full HP, 3v1. Does not care. Gore Drinker. Maul of Malmortis popped. Jhin winning the duel with the Hecarim, and that's all 5. 5 for 2. Huge for Alabama. They got the Baron, but it got extinguished just as quickly. Did not recognize the situation after they killed the Leona, and just all died. They really should have just backed up and taken their win, and then maybe recoordinated and tried to get some objective bounties. Fighting there is never the play. I really do think that the Olaf and the Kaisa could 2v5, or the Olaf and the Jhin, or the Olaf and the Karma. Olaf is just soloing the tower.
He's a strong, independent woman.
He's
He
going
doesn't
in.
need
He
no
got
man.
exhausted. Yeah, that's going to be the difference
Aw.
maker. Oh, the bounty going to Lulu, though. That is not what you want to see.
I think it's time for Lulu to sell all of her items and just go full attack speed.
I think I agree, yeah. Machine Gun Lulu.
Yes.
Oh, that Kaisa W hurts. Oh, she ulted in. Bad decision. Oh, actually good decision. Never mind. Yep, that is a lot of 2 members from Auburn down for 1 member of Alabama, but it is the Olaf. They took out the Olaf. Kaisa sniped the Lulu. And that's going to be a huge turn from Alabama.
That could be game as well.
They don't have minions, but they do have threat. They also don't have Olaf. I'm not sure if they'll actually commit for this or not. Doesn't look like they will. They don't really have DPS on the tower, especially with the Shen standing there, and all of the members of Auburn are coming up. They do not want to throw their lead right now, especially with 1 dragon away from Soul. I do think it is the correct play to back up and reorient. It looks like that was what they will do. Everyone on Alabama reset except for the Karma. TP coming up soon from her, maybe another minute or so. And she will probably have it up for this dragon. They're going to look to force vision. Soul point. Or not soul point, just the soul. Extremely important here. For both teams, actually. Because if... This is a Cloud Soul, so... It's big for the Olaf, but it also means that they don't gain as much combat power, so they can live to Elder. I think if they can turtle until Elder and then steal it, they probably have a chance to win. I do think in a vacuum, forfeiting the lead until Elder is the correct decision here. Olaf running it down, not even going to get the Jinx. That is a bad time to go in. Never want to do that with Dragon spawning. There's no reason for him to greed more kills right now. Just play it slow and end properly rather than 50-50ing fights. Now it looks like they'll just stand back and use Kaisa poke to threat them off of Dragon, but they do not have their jungler, so Auburn could potentially contest. Jhin is strong and Kaisa is strong, so let's see what they'll do. This could be a turning point for either team, actually. Olaf is spawning. They could just stall until Olaf comes. Auburn has to go now if they're going to go at all. Hecarim just died second hand. That is unfortunate. Well, looks like it will be the dragon. And potentially the game. So let's see if Auburn can hold on until this Elder. The Baron is going to spawn by the time the Elder does. So if Alabama can take this dragon and convert it into an Elder, or sorry, a Baron, then I think that will be the game. It's up to Auburn to stop them from contesting objectives. It's pretty much their whole game plan at this point. But that is a big ask.
Enormous.
Maybe gonna siege the inhib until the Baron spawns, and then rotate over there, or maybe they'll just look for the win. Olaf could ult and walk forwards here, but they do have exhaust up on the Lulu, and that has been what has stopped the Olaf from winning these fights every single time he's gone in and died, is he's gotten exhausted and not been able to assassinate someone. So Lulu having that exhaust is very scary. It looks like they will just walk to this Baron as 5. And Cassio recalling a little bit late, so they won't have the proper contest they want here. If Alabama starts right away, then that's probably just game. They do know that the Cassio isn't there because she was recalling on minions. And they will start it. Kaisa probably just looking to zone. So they don't really need more than Olaf Jin to do this Baron. Hecarim potentially engaging, while Baron is done by the time Hecarim can even go in, and he's just going to die. Yep.
How unfortunate.
This looks like this is probably the game for Alabama. There's
Lulu
not a lot they
coming
can do
up,
here
though.
to throw this. Karma flashing forwards. Mantra eating the Olaf, letting him go super speed. Kaisa just killing everyone with her Ws. The AV Kaisa, the exhaust coming out late from the Lulu, and it is not early enough to matter. And that will be the game. Good stuff from Alabama with a strong showing and a strong 2-0. Very clean objective play, very clean map wording. Very good from the Olaf to find all these picks onto the side of Auburn, but I do think that was a very strong game. Good stuff.
Well, I would like to thank everyone for coming out and watching Main Stage tonight. I believe this concludes our League of Legends, doesn't it? Or do we have playoffs now? We have 2 more weeks? Okay. My apologies, I was incorrect.
Who do we have
I'm
coming
just
up?
a lowly caster.
Who do we have coming up after this week?
Who do we have next week?
Okay. So we don't know exactly who's going to be coming up next week, but stay tuned if you want to check out more of this content, of course. Thank you for tuning in. This is the UNA hosted Main Stage, and I hope you gamers have a good night.
Bye.
Goodbye.